Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today is another Meals for Maximum Weight Loss video. You guys request these videos a lot, so I'm going to show you guys a full day of easy meals. I'm going to show you a savory breakfast. I'm going to show you guys an easy cold lunch option because you ask a lot for some meals that you can make for lunch to have at work. And so this will be a nice cold lunch option. It's also great for kids' school lunches. But yeah, you don't need a microwave or anything to heat this lunch up. And then I'm going to show you a super yummy dinner. I'll also cover the basics about how to arrange your plate so that you can have success losing weight on a plant-based diet. This is, again, how I lost 70 pounds and have been able to keep it off. I'm also going to cover hair thinning for you guys. I've been getting a ton of messages about that. I personally did experience hair thinning, which was really scary. It was a few years into my plant-based journey, so I'll go over what I did for that and how I got my hair to stop thinning. I'll show you guys the vegan supplement I take that really helped with that. So remember, you guys can follow me on Instagram at Plantiful. I'm always posting new content there, new recipes, reels, updates, lifestyle inspiration, you name it. So make sure you check me out over there. And make sure you guys check out my website. Frequently, I'm always adding new recipes, and I am really working on building out the weight loss friendly recipe section, especially for you guys. I also have kid friendly stuff on there, and there's always new stuff being added. So make sure you check it out. All right, guys, so let's review real quick the principles of calorie density. If you want to go into this more in detail, then make sure you check out my video called Calorie Density versus Calorie Counting. I go into really great detail there, and I will link it for you guys below. All right, so the basic principles of calorie density are that you want to eat below the 700 calorie per pound mark, and that will help you get into a healthy weight range because these are foods that are naturally high in fiber and bulk and low in calorie density. And all calorie density means is calories per pound. So pound for pound, beans, lentils, all legumes, pasta, whole grains, potatoes, corn, squash, fruits, and vegetables have less calories per pound versus avocados, animal meat, dried fruit, bread, cheese, processed foods, and then of course, our beloved chocolate is really high in calorie density, as well as butter and oil. So if you want to be successful with plant-based weight loss, it's a good idea to try to eat the bulk of your meals again from that 700 calorie per pound mark or less. A little avocado isn't going to really hurt anything too much, in my opinion or my experience. Of course, if you go overboard, it can definitely slow down weight loss. And you do want to be very careful with nuts and seeds because, as you can see, it is really high up in calorie density. So then that brings us to the 50-50 plate. And this is simply where you fill half your plate with non-starchy veggies and then the other half with starch. You eat your non-starchy veggies first and then your starch so that you're filling up on the lowest calorie density food first. You can also mix them together and eat them all together. If you want to have seconds, you just serve yourself again the same way, focusing on your non-starchy veggies first. And of course, make sure to well season all of your vegetables and your starches so that you can enjoy your food. I couldn't have made it without having lots of sauces, and you can find tons of recipes for my cheese sauce, ranch, and other dips and sauces for free on my website at plantifulkiki.com. Now, all you are doing by filling half your plate with vegetables is you are naturally reducing the overall calories of your entire meal without reducing the volume. So if you look at this example here, plate 1 has a total of 800 calories. It's a big plate of pasta. If you take that same plate of pasta and remove half of it and replace it with non-starchy vegetables, it almost cuts your calories in half, but you didn't cut back on the volume that you get to eat. So it's a really easy way to reduce the overall calorie density of your meal without having to actually count calories. If you want to count calories, you can totally do that, or you can try this way. This is what I did. I never counted calories. I still don't count calories because I just can't bring myself to do it, but you do what makes you comfortable. And by being consistent with this and doing this at every meal is how I was able to lose 70 pounds without ever counting a single calorie or having to eat small portions of food. I got to eat until I was full and my body let go of the excess weight. Again, I focused on eating foods that were below that 700 calorie per pound mark, using avocados and nuts and seeds very, very sparingly during weight loss. After weight loss, I reintroduced them and I've done just fine. I love simple meals. I love rice and veggies and teriyaki sauce. I love fresh vegetable spring rolls. And I still eat things like pancakes and homemade vegetable pizza. I just try to clean it up as much as possible. Again, you can find a ton of recipes on my website, or you can check out my best-selling weight loss guide and cookbook, Plantifully Lean. I will link everything in the description box for you guys below. And if you can't stomach vegetables in the morning for your 50-50 plate, go ahead and fill up the non-starchy side of your plate with fruit. Fruit is still a great choice. It's low in calories and high in nutrition and fiber. Fruit smoothies and smoothie bowls are a great option, especially for busy mornings. I love to have these. Just don't be adding nut butters and oils and calorie-dense plant milks. If you need some recipes, again, check out my website. For snacks and desserts, I mainly focus on fruits and vegetables, but I do have the occasional treat. I usually save my treats for Friday or Saturday nights, and you can find lots of recipes on my website. Okay, so for these savory potato waffles, it's really, really simple. I'm just gonna take some already cooked potatoes from the fridge. I always steam up a ton of potatoes at the beginning of the week, so I have them ready to go for any recipe that I wanna throw together. So I'm just gonna put a few potatoes here in my bowl. I generally eat about 2 to 3 medium-sized potatoes, and then I'm just gonna grab my masher and mash these up. So once I have these all mashed up, I'm going to season them. I'm going to start with a little onion powder, and then I'll add a little garlic powder and a little salt. I'm also going to add a little crushed rosemary, and you can add whatever seasonings you like. I think a little smoked paprika would also be really good in here. Okay, so now that I have my mashed potato mixture together, I'm going to add it to my waffle iron. Now my waffle iron is starting to like to stick, so I do have to lightly spray mine, but it doesn't take much. So it is up to you whether or not you spray your pan. All right, so I'm just gonna evenly distribute my potato mixture amongst the waffle iron here. And I love making a big batch of these because then you can pop them in the fridge or the freezer and then pop them in the toaster oven the next day or a few days later when you need a quick breakfast. All right, so now I'm just gonna put the lid down and press it down to make sure it closes. And then I'm gonna leave this down for about 5 to 8 minutes. So while the potato waffles cook, I'm going to get my veggies ready and then pop them in my pan. So I'm going to start by slicing this red onion. And now I'm going to slice this red bell pepper into nice thin strips. All right, now these vegetables are ready to go into the pan along with my mushrooms. So I like to heat a nonstick pan over medium-high heat, and then I add all my vegetables. Then I like to season them with a little garlic powder and onion powder and a pinch of salt. And I will add a few tablespoons of water to this just to help it cook down. So once the veggies have cooked down, I'm gonna add a few handfuls of spinach and just let it wilt quickly. And then this will be ready to eat. Now it's time to take out these potato waffles. Look at these, they're so gorgeous and crispy and delicious. I'm going to top my waffles with my vegetable mixture, and this basically serves as my 50-50 plate. You don't have to eat them separately, you can eat them together, or you can eat your veggies first and then enjoy your waffles. And to this I'm going to add some of my favorite hot sauce, and then I'm going to dig in. All right, so for this eggless egg salad, all you're gonna need is some chickpeas. I like this brand, and I just drain and rinse them. And then I'm gonna need a little yellow mustard and some of my ranch dressing. And all these recipes will be linked in the description box below. So the first thing I'm gonna do is add a little mustard. And then I'm gonna add a few tablespoons of my vegan ranch. Now this ranch makes all the flavors come alive, so don't skip this. It's super easy to make and it comes together quick. Then I'm just gonna take my masher and mash all of this together. All right, so once this is mashed together, I'm gonna add just a little salt and a little pepper to taste. Of course, if you're salt-free, you can omit that completely. Now this is really good over a salad or in lettuce bows, but today I'm gonna make a sandwich so you guys can see a quick, easy cold lunch option to take to work or a picnic or on a car trip. So for the sandwich, I'm gonna start off by cutting some cucumber slices. Then I'm gonna take some romaine lettuce leaves and some sprouts and assemble our sandwich. So one of my favorite breads to use is this Ezekiel sprouted grains bread. I think it's super hearty and delicious. It is not gluten-free, so if you're gluten-free, you'll need to use something else. But I love this bread and I toast it up before I make the sandwich. Now, this one is my favorite vegan gluten-free bread, but it is a Colorado company, so I'm not sure you'll be able to find this outside of Colorado, but I will link it for you guys and maybe you can order it. But I like to toast it up as well before I make the sandwich. But look at it, it's so delicious and white and yummy. It's the best gluten-free bread I have ever found. All right, so now I'm just gonna start assembling my sandwich. I'm gonna cut this in half now so that I can make it all pretty for a picture. So now I'm just gonna spoon some of this eggless chickpea salad on, and then I'm gonna finish making the sandwich. Look how gorgeous that is. It is so, so good. My husband and kids love this sandwich. My kids ask for it almost every single day in their lunches. I don't know how they haven't gotten sick of it yet. And again, if you don't want to have it on bread, you can totally make these little lettuce boats or just throw it all together in a salad. So along with that sandwich, I love to make a summer peach salad. All you're gonna need is a peach and some cucumber slices and a few red onion slices. So I'm gonna take this enormous bowl and fill it with some salad greens. And yes, I will eat all of this salad, but you eat the right amount for you. So I'm just gonna toss everything in and then show you how to make a delicious peach Dijon vinaigrette. Okay, to make the peach Dijon vinaigrette, it's really simple. I'm just gonna take a little bit of Dijon mustard. And this is the secret ingredient. It's the peach balsamic vinegar and it's made by Rocky Mountain Olive Oil Company. No, it does not have any oil in it. It is just made by the Rocky Mountain Olive Oil Company. This is straight up peach vinegar. It is the best vinegar. If you only try one of their vinegars, try the peach one. I could drink this stuff straight from the bottle. So I'm gonna add that to my Dijon mustard and then I'm gonna mix that up. So once I get this more mixed up, I'm just gonna add another tablespoon of the peach vinegar and I will link it for you guys below along with the discount code. All right, so let's talk about hair thinning. It can be extremely scary and frustrating to deal with. So hair thinning can be for a whole myriad of reasons. It can be hormonal health, it can be tied to stress, the products you use. It can be a symptom of other health issues like a thyroid disorder, lots of things. So what I'm gonna share with you guys today happened to be what my body needed to stop shedding hair. It's not necessarily gonna be what solves your hair thinning problem if you have a hair thinning problem, but you guys have asked me what helped me personally, so I'm going to show you guys. All right, so a few years into my plant-based journey, I started losing hair. I didn't lose hair during weight loss. I didn't lose hair when I transitioned to a plant-based diet. So I thought I was fine, but a few years in, I started noticing a lot of just hair shedding. But I have a lot of hair, so it can be really normal to see a lot of hair laying around. So I didn't think a whole lot of it until it just kept getting worse and worse. And then my husband noticed that I had like this really prominent thinning spot on the top of my head. So naturally I freaked out and I started researching and looking at a bunch of stuff to see what could be causing my hair thinning. So one of the biggest things that came up was thyroid condition or hormonal issues. So I had my thyroid and a hormonal panel done and everything looked pretty normal. So then I went to a dermatologist and they took a look at me and they said that it wasn't permanent hair loss based on that there was no scarring and whatever else they look at. And that if it was stress related, try to live more stress free and zen and hopefully it would come back full force. Otherwise, they suggested that I have a bunch of blood work done just to see what was going on, to see if I was deficient in anything. So that's exactly what I did. I went to my general practitioner and I had a bunch of blood work done. They checked my iron levels, they checked my mineral and vitamin levels. And so while I was waiting for those results, I was researching like crazy because I didn't want to keep losing hair and for this thinning spot to get worse. It was like right on top of my head. So one of the major things I came across was that hair thinning can really be due to a lack of iodine, zinc, and selenium, especially in vegan diets. Now, I hadn't been taking any supplements up until this point because, I had read from some plant-based doctors that you shouldn't take supplements and they can do more harm than good because of the massive doses of things in them. So I stopped taking a multivitamin, I stopped taking all the supplements I had been taking. But unfortunately, now I was dealing with hair loss and what I was coming up with was that it could very well be a deficiency in these 3 things that are really important for hair, skin, and nail health. So I did hear back from the doctor and that I was indeed low in iodine, zinc, and selenium. No big surprise. I was also low in magnesium and a little low in vitamin D. So their solution was to just go ahead and get a multivitamin, supplement with these things, and then get checked again later and see if that cleared it up. So long story short, I was researching a ton of supplements and I wanted to try and find something that didn't have these mega doses that most multivitamins do. And I came across one called Complement. You guys have seen me show this before because I get asked a lot. No, they're not sponsoring this video. I found them all on my own for my own research. It's a vegan company that gives back. They have a lot of good things about the company and I've gotten to know the people there at the company and I've got to say that I'm really impressed with them. So this has a little vitamin D, K2, B12, iodine, magnesium, zinc, and selenium, and then it has some DHA and EPA in it. Now these are not mega doses. It's very small, very simple, doesn't have any weird added fillers or any of that stuff. And the capsules look pretty cool. And I think they're black from the algae or the kelp or the seaweed. I don't even know. I think they told me once, but I don't remember. I should look at that. But I take 3 a day and my kids each take 2, although my son is gonna start taking 3 a day because he's older and almost bigger than I am. But I will have these linked in the description box below. You can also read my blog post about them where I go into more detail about my story, finding them, and my hair before and afters. So I'll link that below as well, along with a discount code if you decide to give them a try. Now, this is what I want to say about supplements. Don't go out and get them and take them just because I take them. It's really a very personal choice. You should do your research, really decide if it's something that you want to do or need to do. If you're not having any symptoms or issues and your blood work is coming back great, then, keep doing what you're doing. So back to, I found these supplements and I ordered them immediately, rushed the shipping and started taking them as soon as I got them, never missed a day. And it took about 6 months, but my hair filled back in, which was great. That's exactly what I needed to happen. So in my case of hair thinning, it had to do with deficiencies. My doctors continue to monitor my blood work and I keep an eye on everything. So that's what I did for myself personally. Again, it is a very personal choice. If you are dealing with hair thinning, I am so sorry. My heart goes out to you. It is very scary and very frustrating, but don't give up. Keep looking for answers, try different things, and hopefully you find what it is that will solve the hair thinning. I send you all of my best wishes. All right, guys, these Philly cheesesteak spuds are a major hit in my house. I'm gonna start with some green bell pepper, some red onion, and then I'm gonna slice up these portobello mushrooms even thinner. Now, I like green pepper for a more authentic Philly cheesesteak flavor, but you go ahead and use whatever kind of bell pepper you enjoy. So I'm gonna take these portobello mushrooms and cut them even thinner. They came cut pretty thick in a package, but I wanna make them even thinner because they will not cook up well if they stay this thick. So I'm gonna add all of these vegetables to my nonstick pan that I have heated over medium-high heat, and then I'm gonna season them with a little garlic, salt, onion powder, and I'll probably add a few tablespoons of water to help them cook down. So now that they have cooked down, I am just gonna add a few tablespoons of this vegan Worcestershire sauce, or Worcestershire, however you say it. And I just find it at Whole Foods and it's vegan. You can see right here on the back. And it gives this a really authentic cheesesteak flavor. So don't skip this. All right, so now that my other vegetables are done cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and heat up my potatoes. So I got out my cooked potatoes and I am just gonna chop them up and heat them up real quick. Now you can crisp them up in an air fryer, that would be delicious, but I'm going for quick and easy. All right, so now that my potatoes are heated up, I'm gonna go ahead and top them with the cheesesteak toppings. And then I'm gonna top them with my delicious cheese sauce. Now this is my basic cheese sauce recipe. I just didn't add the carrots so that it would be white. And I will have that linked for you guys below. That is it for me today. I hope you enjoyed seeing these recipes. I hope the cold lunch option helps those of you that need something quick and easy that you can just pack and not have to deal with heating up at work. Make sure to check my website frequently because I'm always posting new recipes and new content. The blog will hopefully be up soon and running, where I will be sharing all sorts of bits and pieces of my life with you guys. Remember to keep this journey about health and not just about the skinny. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.